Okay, so this video is going to be going over the trend follower strategy and using the Forex Simulator, like I did in the previous video with the Aussie USD. We ended the Aussie USD in the last month and a half at plus 7.7%, which is $77 based on a $1,000 account. Today we're going to do the pound USD, and I'm just going to quickly go over the Forex Simulator here and setting it up, and then we'll get into the trade. Taking the trades for the same as the Aussie USD, which is going to be the last month and a half. So we're just going to go to the data center and we're going to do the pound USD and just make sure everything's up to date. So you just want to hit update. Okay, so the new available, so it is updated right till August 23rd, you can see. So we can close that out. And we'll just go to the new simulation. Go up to the drop down menu and hit the pound USD. Now for our date, we don't want to go back to the 2018. We only want the last month and a half. So we're going to go to July 1st. And we're going to end on August 23rd. We're going to use a $1,000 account with a leverage of 1 to 500. And we're going to go with a fixed spread of what the pound usually is. And it hovers around the 3 pip mark. Depending on your broker. So we're going to go with the 30 points, which is 3 pips. And we're going to start the simulation. Okay, when you get to this screen here, what we want to do is get the charts up and running. So we'll click on charts and we'll go to the hourly one. Hit add and open that chart up. Okay, we can close this out. We're just going to go to our template and go to the UFX trend follower. And now we're ready to go. Another thing we're not using fixed lots. We're going to use the risk percentage, which is 1% of our account. We're going to go to the visual mode so that we can readjust the take profit, or not take profit, but the stop loss and the entries. And you'll see when we do our first trade. We're going to go to the pending up here. And then we're just going to open up our trades window so you can see when we're in the trade here. And then we can modify the stop loss here, and you'll see that shortly. So I'm just going to pause the video here. And when a trade occurs, I will go over the rules, which is in the top left-hand side here. We'll go through the checklist and take the trade or not, or wait for another one. So I'll just pause the video right now. Okay, so we got our first trade set up. We're just going to go over the setup checklist here. The 36 is all red. You can see we had a little bit of blue up here, and we broke down. We are looking between the two separator lines here. This is the start of the day. This is the end of the day. So we're looking at the end of the day for the trade setups. You can see we had a bit of blue. Majority's red coming down into here. So we can check that the 36 EMA is all red. Okay, if we had any green in this, then we wouldn't be marking this down. Maybe we'll get some trades like that. We'll see in the up-and-coming trades. But for this one here, we're marking it out as all red. We've got a little bit of blue here, and then the rest of it's red coming down. We've got the price close below the 200, and we've also got the confirmation 36 cross below the 200 as well. So there's our arrow for the cross, and our price action is below the 200 here as well. Now I do have to use this script here, the entry stop loss, for the actual indicator itself. It will draw these automatically half past the hour at the start of the new day. You cannot use the hourly based time within the simulator. It just doesn't work within the code. So I had to make this script up to get the same lines that is automatically drawn for you with this indicator. So we'll just drag and drop. And it is available in the package. I do use this so that if people do want to use the simulator and practice the strategy on the weekends, or even before using it in live markets, then at least they have this script to be able to test it as well. So our risk percentage is 1%, and you can see we've got our entry and our stop loss. We can go ahead and take the trade. We're going to do a sell stop here. Okay, we're going to give some lines to drag and drop. We don't want the take profit, so we can unclick that. Our yellow line is going to be our entry. So we just put that to the entry line here, and our stop loss is the red, and we put that right here up on the stop loss, and we're going to accept that. We want minimum 2 of these check marks done in order to take our first attempt, and then the second attempt we must have all 3. Okay, so that's the rules for it. Now we're just going to click through here and see how this pans out. Okay, we got triggered here. End of the day, we're going to look at the trade again, and we can drop our stop loss down. We can drop it down just a little bit, give ourselves some room for this trade, but decrease our risk as well. So we're just going to hit the modify button over here, and we're just going to drag our stop loss down just a little bit, and still give ourselves some wiggle room, but decreasing our risk as well. So we're going to continue. Okay, end of the day, we're going to manage our position here. And we're going to drop it down a bit more. Right around here. We don't want to come down too close. If we're coming down into the second one, we're going to be about 11 pips from the price action. Even this one here, we're about 20 pips from it. So we can even put that up just a little bit, give ourselves some more wiggle room. And accept it. We are in profit now. So we've got 0 risk in this trade and a little bit of profit. So we'll just continue and see what the pair decides to do here. The next day we kind of went sideways here and closed above the 36. We're just going to manage our trade some more here. Hit the modify button. And we're just going to drag down just a little bit more here. And now we'll use the previous days up into here. We don't want to get too close to the price action and get stopped out. Don't want to smother the trade. And we'll just see if we get stopped out here. Okay, and it decided to break down. Now these double bars are the weekend, so we're coming back on a Sunday. We're going to readjust our position, modify, and we're not going to smother the trade. We'll go up into this one here. We've got some support right in this area and support here. So I'm just going to go above this support area, which is now resistance, and see what happens. We'll accept that. Okay, end of the day, we'll manage our position again. Move our stop down. Okay, just above. We're using the fractals for points of moving our stop loss to. Without getting too close to the price action here, you wouldn't use these two. You might as well just close out the trade because it's just too close to the price. So give yourself some room. Okay, we're still dropping. End of the day, we manage the position again. Modify our stop loss. And we'll drag her down a bit more here. Like I said, we're not going to go right down to these ones. It's too close to the price action. We do have support here and support up here, so I'm happy to put it up onto the second part here for the previous day. It's going just above. You remember these are daily bars here, so we're putting the stop just above the previous day's low. So it does have a chance of coming up, touching that, and then reversing back to the downside, or we'll get stopped out. Okay, so we'll keep going. And we got stopped out there. And I will pause the video, and when we come back to a different trade, I will show the checklist again, and we'll walk through it again. Okay, so we've got another setup here. You can see price was coming up. 36 was green. We did get across here, but we didn't stay up above the 200 to go for the long trade. What had happened here is we opened up and then we slammed down here. You can see these bars for the Heikin-Ashi are fairly big, bigger than the up bars. And then we're kind of sideways at the end of the day here for quite a few hours. So we'll just go over our checklist. Down at the bottom here, we have a reset checklist. We're just going to click this button, and it'll put all of these back to the X's so we can walk over our sell setup checklist here again. The 36 EMA is all red. No, we don't have it. We've got green here, so we can't check that. The price closed below the 200. So we know we closed below the 200, and we've got a sideways action here for the end of the day, which is nice. We did open here, created a bit of a high, and then slammed down. So we do got a bearish daily bar here, so you can pay attention to that as well. The 36 crossed below the 200 EMA. Yes, we've got our cross right here. We can see the arrow. So we do have 2 out of the 3. On our first attempt, that is fine to do the 2 out of the 3. It's better always to have the 3 check marks, but on the first attempt, you can do the 2 out of the 3, and then the second one, you have to have all 3 check marked, okay? So if we did this one, it pulled up, and we get stopped out, then we can try it the second day, as long as price didn't come up here, stop us out, and then slam down here. Chances are it's going to get a retracement, and we'll get popped out, stopped out of the second one as well again. So we got to pay attention to that. But for this one, we can take the first attempt. We'll put our entry and stop loss on here. And you can see we're risking $10.50, 1% of the account. So we're going to move our lines to the entry and to our stop loss. We're going to hit accept. And we're just going to walk through this here. Okay, so we slam down. Now we're going to modify our trade. And like I said, if you didn't take this one and you didn't like the 2 check marks out of the third one, and you get a big move like this down and then sideways here, 2 days down like that, the chances are on the third day you're going to get a retracement up. So if you do put a sell stop here and you get some whippiness throughout the European session or into the Asian session, and it does trigger you, the likelihood is we're going to pop up and get stopped out anyways when you got 2 big days down like this. But we'll see what happens here. Right now we're going to modify our stop loss. It's just stuff to be aware of. And we're not going to smother the trade, but we want to take some profits. We can see previously we've got some support down here, so we can go right. We've slammed down through this, so we could easily pop up, test this area, and then move right back down. So I'm going to go just above these lows here. Hit accept. And we'll just carry on. Okay, now we can modify our stop loss again. We'll use this high here, not too much. Don't want to get too close to the price action, but we do want to lock in a bit more profits. And we got stopped out on that one. So I will come back when we get a new setup and we'll walk through it. Okay, so we had another setup occur here. We did get a green arrow to the upside, but we didn't close above the 200. We closed back below it. And now we've got another sell signal here as well. So we're just going to reset the checklist. And we've got the 36 EMA is all red. Yes, we've got a bit of blue here and then down into the red here. We did close below the 200 and our 36 crossed below the 200 as well. So we've got everything check marked to the green. We can take our first attempt for sure. Remember, 2 out of the 3. And then we'll just do our entry and stop loss lines here and do our sell stop at 1%. We're risking $10.71. Get rid of the take profit. Okay, so we are just moving our lines to our entry. The yellow is going to be the entry, and the red is going to be the stop loss. Okay, and then we're just going to hit accept. And we're going to continue, see how this trade works out for us here. And you can see we got stopped out. Next day here, we've got a little bit of a, see where we're at. We're about 30 pips. So, okay, we'll just have a look at that. Let's go. Our 36 EMA is all red from the period separator to the period separator. You can see it's all red. So we've got that checked. We also closed below the 200 still, and we did get our cross the previous day. So we're good to do our second attempt. If this attempt fails, then we will be waiting for a completely new setup. We only do 2 attempts per setup. So we will do this one as our second attempt. And we're going to just move our lines here. Get rid of the take profit, and we'll use the yellow for our entry and our red for our stop loss. Okay, we're going to accept that. And we're going to see how this one plays out for us. And again, stopped out again here, and we took off to the upside. We've got no setup here. I'm going to pause the video. When we get to the next setup, I will show the checklist again here. Okay, so now we've got a buy setup here. We're just going to go through our checklist. Let's reset it. And we're going to go over the buy setup checklist. 36 EMA is all green. We've got a little blue here, and we've got the rest is green, so we can check mark that. We've got the price closed above the 200, yes. And the 36 crossed above the 200, yes. We've got our arrow, we crossed above. We've got all 3. We can do our first attempt. And we're going to do our entry and stop loss. And we can set up our buy stop based on 1%. It's going to be risking $10.50 on a $1,000 account. We'll move the stop down into the red line here. And our entry is pretty much right on where it needs to be. So we can accept that. And we'll see how the trade plays out. Got stopped out. See what happens this next day. Now we're red, we're underneath. There's no trade here, so we're not even going to do the second attempt here. I'll pause the video and see what happens when we get another try here. Okay, so we've got another attempt here. You can see we've got the green arrow. It's kind of hidden behind these big green bars here. But this day we dipped down. We did get a red cross, and now we've got our green cross to the upside. And we've closed above the 200. So we'll just go over the checklist. The 36 EMA is all green. No, we've got some red in here. Blue, red, and then green. So we'll leave that as an X. Price closed above the 200. We've got that. And we have the 36 crossed above the 200 as well. So we did get that. We crossed below, which reset it. And we've got our cross to the upside again. So we can take our first attempt on this trade setup. And we'll do our entry and stop loss. Do our buy stop. Get rid of the take profit. And we'll just set up our trade here. And there we go. We'll accept it. Okay, the next day now, we have dipped down underneath. So we can close out this trade. It's no longer valid. We'll delete it. We never got triggered. The price closed back down here. We don't have a trade set up. Our cross is back here. I'm not going to based on the 200 EMA that we're closed above it here. We're kind of right on it, sideways on it. So I wouldn't be willing to take a trade based on that, even though you might have it closed above the 200 and our 36 closed over here. This is pretty ugly, pretty whippy, and we're going below and above the 200 here, so it can go either way. It's not nice, so I'm not even going to try that one. I'll pause the video and we will move to the next one. Okay, just to show you what would have happened if you did take that one. Your entry and stop loss, or your entry would have been here, stop loss here. You would have been triggered and you would have been up 100. But like I said, it was pretty ugly, and these ones I don't take anyways, even though you had the two. It just isn't nice enough to take. But I just wanted to show what would have happened if something happened and you did want to take that one. You would have been up, but more likely than not, you would have been stopped out on these trades. But I just wanted to show what happened the next day after. Okay, when we get a new trade, I will come back. Okay, so starting on July 1st, we can see this is the end of it. We didn't take that trade because the price action was pretty ugly there. And I didn't like how it was dipping below the 200 and above the 200. We're right along it there. So it would have been a nice trade and ended there right now. And this is what had happened this last week. Now we're at the end of the simulation. So starting July 1st, this the pound USD is up 4.26%, or $42 based on a $1,000 account, risking 1%. So the odd USD is up, the pound USD is up. I'll continue. I'll do the next video with one of the other pairs, maybe the Euro USD or the New Zealand USD. I want to show all of the USD pairs trading as a whole and what the percentage would have been up over the last month and a half if you would have used this trading strategy on just the pound USD pairs. However, you do have 28 pairs to trade. Some have too high of spreads to trade, but your options are there depending on your broker. So the chances of getting a trade is about, if you're trading all of the pairs, you're probably going to get a trade set up every 2 days. Anyways, that is it for this video. I will come back and do one maybe on the Euro USD here for the next video, and we'll talk to you later.